What's going on, guys? Brandon here with RAVEK. Today we're going to be installing the Generation 3 Speakeasy Kit for the Honda Pioneer 1000. Let's get started. We're going to start by showing you what's included in the box. A full set of instructions, your controller, your power harness, as well as your front extensions and your dash indicators. You get your rear TY harnesses that go to the left and the right-hand side of the taillights. You have your rear receiver. This is going to mount to the left-hand side of the taillight. Your unlit license plate bracket, your turn signal lever that has your integrated left, right, horn, as well as your hazard on the bottom, and the bracket and hardware included with it. Last but not least, you have our almighty horn. We're going to go through the teardown of the vehicle now. Let's get started. All right, the first step of the installation video, we're going to take and remove the hood off of this Pioneer 1000, set it off to the side. The next step, I have my 10mm handy, unlike I normally do. I'm actually going to remove the negative battery cable here. We're going to have to take and hook our power harness into that. Right behind the battery here is where you are going to find the accessory harness coming out of the main loom that we're going to connect into for our power harness. We'll go into that in a later step here. Next step we're going to do in our installation, we're going to mount our dash indicator lights over here to the left and the right, just giving you a good clear shot from where they're at. What you're looking at is not exactly what will come with your kit. We ran out of them and we had to use something similar, so this is what we have. You can basically take and make sure there's nothing behind here visually from the front of the machine and drill your 5/16 inch hole on both locations, and you can install these from the front or the back. The two pieces do separate. For the turn signal levers, we're going to remove the bolt here. We're going to come down to the bottom and remove the bolt and the nut down here, which I've already loosened for the video. What this is going to allow us to do is to mount our turn signal lever bracket utilizing that nut and bolt. So you're able to see I've taken the two smaller Allen bolts and tightened it up into this orientation. This is going to allow you to mount this onto the machine like so. And I'm going to take the included bolt just to drop it in to hold it in place and get it started. You'll notice that this does work with your paddle shifters on this Pioneer. Just got that one finger tight. We come down here in the bottom and take this, align your holes in there. Like so. Put this back in place and we can tighten them back up utilizing a 10mm wrench and socket. Come back and tighten this up here after a few. Okay. That's it for your turn signal lever. Again, you got your left turn, right turn, your horn, as well as your hazard on the bottom there. Okay, so I pulled the lever and the wires through from the column into the front of the machine, through the front firewall, if you will. We're going to be routing this over here to where we have the controller, and we'll go into the mounting of the controller and where to next. And right here, we're going to make our horn connection, the 2-pin connector right there. And that's it for our outputs. Again, this rear main extension, this rear extension is not going to be used as it is a wireless kit. So our almighty horn, we're going to take and mount here to this bolt that actually secures the battery into place. We've routed the wire over to where we've already pre-mounted the controller, which is going to happen in the next step, but you're seeing a little glimpse of it now. Taking the 10mm bolt out, simply going to take and run the bolt in, down through the bracket, and mount it. Important fact is that you just need to make sure that when you're mounting this, you actually bend the horn up so it is not going to hit or contact any pieces of metal or plastic. If you do so, it will change the tone and sound like a dying duck. There we go. So what I hold in my hand is your main controller here. You've got the power in, you've got your extensions out. Back side of here, you got your 3M VHB. We've already installed one in this machine, but utilizing your alcohol prep pad and primer pad, we've been able to clean the surface and apply it here. Fun fact, this one here again does not have a rear main harness. There's no rear wires to run through the machine, so that will be left alone. And we can go through and start making our connections now for the front wires. The box is going to be hooking the turn and the horn hazard up from our turn signal lever itself. And then once this is all done, you can go through and secure, clean up your wiring, keeping bundled nice and tight. And we're gonna go to the rear of the machine. We have the front of the machine torn apart. Fun fact, that is all that you have to tear apart in the front of the machine in order to do this install. There is no tear down in the center of the machine. This is a wireless Speakeasy kit. I'm gonna go back here to the rear left and right taillights, where we're gonna have to gain access to the back of these here. This is gonna be where we're gonna install our TY connectors. The TY connectors allow the brain interface up front to interact with the board in the back to have your wireless connection. Swear I can't take the taillight out without dropping a screw. Just disconnect the OEM, and again, we'll come back here and make that connection in a bit. We're gonna do the same thing on the driver's side. That. And again, we're going to make the connections back here in a future step where we'll integrate in our interface. So we're now back to the rear of the machine. In some of the kits, you're going to have a multi-pin that connects right down below your tailgate here, or you're going to have two TY harnesses. One will mount here, one will mount on the right-hand side. In any case, you're going to have this receiver, which is going to mount over here on the left-hand side with the multi-pin, or both sides if you have the TY connectors. They'll be clearly labeled. In this machine, we do have a multi-pin installed, so we're going to go through here and install the taillight back into place, because it does jump to the taillight, like so. This is the OEM connector. Excuse me, our connector connecting to the OEM light. Okay. Come back and install it at a later time. So in my hand is the wireless receiver. This wireless receiver is going to go underneath here to the multi-pin, plug into the multi-pin there, as well as the license plate here. Now, if you choose to go with a RAVEK lighted license plate, this is where you're going to make your connection to. And you see you have a left. This is for your left-hand side apex lights and or multi-pin. We'll go to the right-hand side next, and I'll show you that connection. So over here is where you're going to have your RAVEK harness that comes through. This is your OEM wiring here. I'm going to plug the OEM wiring into our Y harness. This here is where you're going to install a right-hand side apex light or multifunction tail light, where you're going to make a connection there. Simply snap it into place, like that. Install the tail lights, and that's it. Again, no connection through the middle of the machine. Wide open wireless to the rear. Quick install. All right, we're going to talk about where you can mount your license plate bracket. Again, the light is optional from RAVEK, and it plugs right into our controller. You can mount the license plate bracket right here with the hardware that we do send out by simply removing these bolts. You can drill your holes. Utilizing the hardware we send, you'll be able to easily install this. All right, let's jump in and test this baby out. Everything is connected. Power the machine up. Got left turn signal, right turn signal, hazards. Fun little fact, you hold the hazard button for 5 seconds and it goes into party mode. We call it party mode. Other one, if you're going to be in a construction site, plowing snow, this is a great safety feature to have on there. And in the rear of the machine, we'll test the brake lights. The back, you're going to see the strobe or the pulsate, and then the bright lights come on by themselves. I'll do the party mode in the back just so you can see it. Party mode. Left turn. Right turn. Hazard. And we have our brake lights. If you have any questions, make sure you reach out to our tech line. We're here to help.